written on the Great Lakes and then picked up on the other tall ships across the world. So kind of fun, if you play the video game Assassin's Creed 3 that just came out, you'll actually hear them singing Hangin' Johnny, which is funny because that's a British ship singing an American shanty. That matters to no one but me. So anyways, Hangin' Johnny's cool. When you, how old, here we go, now I'm lecturing. How old do you all think that you would be when you start tall ships in the Great Lakes?
9.
Yeah, that's a little old actually. By 14 you should have some time on the water already. You're going to be probably about 10 years old when you're going to start working. And your first job is not a powder monkey. Remember that the battle, sans what we did today, was not a very common thing on the Great Lakes. It'd be a thing called Hangin' Johnny. And Hangin' Johnny job would be to go up and use the downhauls. Now, this ship is rigged in a very wonderful fashion, but a lot of ships have a downhaul that connects to your gaff and helps you haul it down, right? Do you have downhauls on?
There's a downhaul on the staysail.
All right, yeah. So they do downhauls, which is great. But sometimes in a gaff rig ship, the gaffs can get top piece of wood can get lodged into place, especially if they've been there for like a long time. So you need a little bit of burst to bring them down. So Hangin' Johnny would crawl up the shrouds and ratlins, and this ship is all done from the deck, which is wonderful. It's a very cool design. But if they had the ladders going up, the shrouds and ratlins, they go across, jump across the way, grab a hold of the downhauls, and then drag them down. So you'd be 70 feet up in the air, riding that line down to the ground. It's called Hangin' Johnny, right? Isn't that a great job? There you are, like 10 years old, like, you want to do it? Yeah, let's do that, you know? But of course, that was the story too, that you got down at the dock to work a Great Lakes schooner, similar to the one that we're on, or maybe like the Dennis Sullivan. There's only going to be 20 guys working that boat. So if you're on that boat, you know somebody on that boat. Like if we're there together, we serve in the war together. You were my friend's son, right? And there was actually women on the boats too. That's a different story for later on. Actually, the women in the Great Lakes, they were all professional sailors. You know, they weren't winches. They were professional sailors, which I can get to that in a little bit if you want to. But so there, you're young men. Your job at the very first day is your trial by fire, right? They take you out. You're gonna do a sail out of Milwaukee. You're gonna go pick up some timber up Sheboygan, right? And you're up there, and they say, okay, all the way up to the top, just the top mast, up that shroud and ratlins, right? Now, you gotta imagine the ladder's going up, okay, on this particular ship, but you can see them on other different vessels. You will get no training. You will get no coaching. You will have no harness. No one's coming to save you. If you can get up and touch the top mast, very top of the ship, and come back down again without freaking out, throwing up, getting stuck, or dying, you're welcome to start. But if you can't, then you're not ready yet, right? So you have to know on a ship like this, anybody who works out, no matter how old they are, that they're willing to risk their lives for that vessel, right? So that was the trial. It's your first day on a tall ship. To this day, it's not uncommon. When I first started sailing tall ships 10 years ago, my first ship was a Royalist, and the difference was they gave me a harness. They're like, here's your harness. Good luck. I'm a competitive rock climber. I like climbing things, but things that do this while you climb them are very different than the walls. Rock walls and cliffs don't usually move while you're climbing them, you know. So it was a wild experience. So the song "Hangin' Johnny" goes like this. You'd have these downhauls, and I'm not gonna lay hands on this line, so you can imagine, right? We're hanging on this line, and there's a downbeat to it. So the song goes, "They call me Hangin' Johnny," and the refrain that everybody sings is, "Hooray, boys, hooray! They call me Hangin' Johnny, so hang, boys, hang." So hooray, boys, hooray, and hang, boys, hang. You now have the whole song, right? So that's the callback, right? For Shantyman, there was the lead of the callback. So we have "Call me Hangin' Johnny," and then everybody would sing, "Hooray, boys, hooray," and then the Shantyman would sing again the next bit, "They call me Hangin' Johnny, so hang, boys, hang." Well, meanwhile, if I had a line in my hand, but I don't, right? You'd be on the downhaul, and they go 70 feet up in the air. "Call me Hangin' Johnny," kick off, slam your body weight. "Hooray, boys, hooray," go back, right? Now you're sitting against the mast with your feet against the mast, right? "They call me Hangin' Johnny," kick off, drop your body weight, so hang, boys, hang, right? All the way down to the deck, right? So before I sing this song, there's a couple words I want to explain. There's a word called rigger in there. There's somebody who rigs the boat, right? They use the word Jonah, right? Jonah instead of Jonah. Right, to this day, they have people where they call them Jonas. There's certain people on boats who you really don't want them on the boat for whatever reason. They bring bad luck, bad weather, they're a bad personality type for the vessel, so that word's in there. It sounds like a violent song because it was sung by 12-year-olds, you know, and they're angsty. So it's not really about hanging anybody by the neck, but all the play in the song is joking about that, even though it's about hanging the downhauls. It's a lot of exposition from one song. Let's do it, okay? So again, sing along.